Alright, we got the start-stop motor here off of this 6F35, and in the sub kit they're going to give you the seal that goes on here. Let's see if we can get it out without screwing anything up. I didn't see no point in pulling this out of the center. There's another circuit board down into there, but there's nothing in there that you're going to need to replace anyway, so there's really no need. Just line your gasket up and push it down inside the groove there. Line that back up. We got these T10 Torx bolts. I'm going to have to run these bolts through a calculator to find out what to torque them to, because I don't find anything listed anywhere. So they'll be at the end of the video on the Patreon side anyway. I'm just going to tighten these down snug. Probably snug will be fine anyway, but we'll find out what it's supposed to be. Since Ford in their infinite wisdom decided not to give the torque specs for it. I don't think Ford expects you to take this apart. They're expecting you to buy the whole motor. We'll just leave that like that. Down in the bottom here is this little spring. Make sure it's sitting down in the little pocket that it goes in. This bearing is going to fit down inside of it. It's a sealed bearing, and this is a magnet, so it's going to pull itself to the side. There we go. We have an O-ring on here. There's another sealed bearing. Just make sure it's turning free. Put a little slickum on the O-ring here. Now I marked this how it came off, and I'm going to put it back exactly the same way. I don't think you can screw it up though. No, you can't screw it up. It's only going to go on one way. So may need to put a little bit more slickum on there. Don't want to put too much on here. Going down inside of there. I don't know what's supposed to be down in there. Did not have anything in it when I took it apart. Okay, that's where that goes. I can see it now. I thought it was a lever seal, but it's not. There's a seal that's up inside of here. So let me figure out how I'm gonna get this bearing out of there without screwing it up, and then I'll come back. Alright, to get this thing out, I got my snap-on pilot bearing tool. Used the small feet for that. Stuck them in there and then assembled it. It pulled the bearing out just fine. My advice to you is don't try to change this seal. It is a son of a bitch to get out of there. And I had to cut it out. I tried using a large puller to get it out of there. Did not work. You got to remember, once you destroy that seal, you're committed to getting it out of there and changing it. And it was horrible, let me tell you. If it is not screwed up, the next time I do one, I am not going to change that seal. As long as it feels tight up against there, I'm going to leave it alone. I suggest you do the same. You can do whatever you want. I just used the arbor press to press it in, and I used the arbor press to put the bearing back down in. So it's fairly easy to put it back together once I got to that point. It's getting to that point. That is a snot. So we got our inner and outer gears. They both have a dot. The dot goes up on both of them. There's a flat spot on the gear. It goes with the flat spot, of course, on the drive shaft for the gear. I may have to put the inner one on first, which is probably what I should do. Turning nice and free still. Ain't screw anything up in there. Okay, then we get an O-ring. It goes on here. Housing goes on. We've got 30 Torx bolts that go on here. Here again, I'll have to run them through a torque calculator. Wrong socket. What did I do here? Alright, 30 Torx on this, I think I already said. I don't know if they want you to replace the bolts on here. Like I said before, don't say anything. Probably not, because they want you to buy the whole motor. But they want you to replace the bolts to hold this onto the case. Just going to tighten this up snug till I know what they're torqued to. Alright. You have an O-ring that goes onto here. Move that up a little bit. Pop that onto there. Got an O-ring that goes on out here. Our housing goes on. 20 Torx, T20s. Alright, there's a bulletin out about this tube. There's a check ball up inside of here. And apparently they're bad about this check ball failing inside of there. And it'll cause PO27C, I think was what the code was. I'll have it on here. But it causes a harsh engagement, neutral type coming to a stop, and then a harsh engagement when you restart, because this thing's supposed to keep it in gear while you come to a stop and it shuts off. I checked mine with solvent. It is holding it, and you tilt it just a little bit and it is draining. So it seems to be working fine. We got our gasket that goes on out here, and our tube goes in, and the 3 bolts, 30 Torx that hold it in. So when we get to putting it on the case, we'll come back. I don't see no need in doing another rebuild video, as the transmission seems to be exactly the same. The same code on the valve body for the number, the RF number is the same. So I figure all the springs in there are probably the same. I will check them, make sure, but being the same number, it should all be the same. So if it's all the same, I don't see no point in doing a whole video on this thing. I'll just be an addendum to what you normally do. And we'll see you on the next one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put the motor on. I'm having to wait on some stuff to show up, so we'll go ahead and do this. This tube just goes in kind of at an angle and off to the right a little bit. All it does is sit. Hopefully that's showing up right down in that little spot right there. There's an opening. And our gasket is going to sit on top. And they recommend that you replace these bolts. Nobody's got the bolts right now, so I am not able to put new ones. I'm going to run the old ones. Hopefully everything's okay. These came out, are going in a lot easier than what they came out. I think I will probably take these back off and put a little bit of Loctite on them. I'm going to use red. Let's see which one we got up here. Looks like 3262. Alright, doesn't take much. You don't need to put gobs of it on there. I don't see no reason why you can't reuse these things. Alright. I believe it called for 115 inch-pounds. And that's all there is for the motor. See you on the next one.